Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Yes, you are welcome. Welcome to another beautiful Friday here in Milan. My name is Mark Godwin Iweajua, and we have come for our SSM Friday updates. Joining me from different parts of the world are my colleagues, my friends and brothers. In Lagos, Nigeria is our man, Ogbeni Olayinka Raji. Raji, good morning.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning, viewers around the globe. Welcome to our Friday program, and thank you for being consistent in viewing our channel. You make us feel very, very valuable. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's a beautiful thing to say this morning, Raji, to our viewers.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yes.
So how is it from your end? How is Nigeria, Lagos today, Africa today? I know you shuttle between two sides, Ghana, Nigeria. So how is it in Africa today?
Well, Nigeria is cool. We are still buying fuel at 900 naira to 1,000 naira a liter. And the government has said that it's giving food sellers 1 month to crash the prices now. I hope they will start with PMS.
1 month.
Yes, to crash prices.
That's a long time to survive. Okay, let's hope that. What do you think?
It will be good. Sorry, it will be good if they start with PMS.
PMS, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Fuel. That would be a great relief.
That would be a great relief. Okay. Okay. So, and do you think that market women, business people might also begin to slash prices of their goods and services?
That's what the government intends to do. It has to bring its weight upon them. So I presume that they will start with PMS, which they directly control.
Okay. So yes. Okay. Now I understand what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Okay. we pray they do that. We hope they do that. Okay, Raji, you're welcome. So viewers, you are tuned into our News Echoes World Affairs today, Friday, 30th of August. And we so much on Bona. Let's start with some of the international news. Raji, Ukraine says they successfully tested their first ballistic missile. I think this should be a second mini, like they said, second mini invasion of the southern border of Russia. And so Ukraine is giving us these updates. But I want to say something, my own personal view. Ukraine is not, their propaganda machine, their propaganda team is not doing a good job at all. They make loud noise when they do little thing, and that loud noise causes Russia to hit them harder, much harder than they've done before. Now, do you think it's a good thing to always come out and say the little thing they are doing, and why are they still trying to touch the tail of the lion when they know that they can't survive touching that tail? So anyway,
what do you expect when you have a comedian as your president? What do you expect?
Yeah, so
I don't expect anything more.
Yeah, they said there's a positive test of their first Ukrainian ballistic missile. They are he was
See,
congratulating.
sorry. Historically, Ukraine has been the technology point of the old Russia or the old USSR. In fact,
Yes.
most of the armaments of the USSR were originally stationed in Ukraine. That's why Ukraine is very, very important to Russia, and Ukraine is also borders the one port that Russia can ever use. So Ukraine is very, very important to Russia, and that's why NATO wants to poke its nose into there. And then I'm just sorry for Ukraine. That rather than calling for peace, by one way or the other, calling for peace, you are trying to be to show that you are strong. Eh? It is unfortunate, actually.
It is unfortunate. Yeah, we know what happened when they talked about that. The initial one, they said they were able to launch some attack, and we know what followed up last week. Last week, there was heavy bombing. Yes, heavy one from Russia. Now they have come out again to say they've done their first ballistic missile launch. And they are also saying that the research center, they are not opening up to anybody to know, but that the research center of their ballistic missile structure is well aligned, is ready to take more launch bomber and all that. So all this for me is just rambling, rosing, just exaggerating and saying off-key, because when Russia comes double stronger, double times the weight, and it's not helping them. Now, EU, NATO, and all of these, America, they just keep pushing these little people, these small people, to the mouth of a lion every day. That's how it is, Raji.
It's unfortunate, yes. It's rather unfortunate. Yes.
Very unfortunate.
You keep on pulling the tail of the tiger, and where are you going to end up in? You are going to end up in the mouth of the tiger.
You're going to end up in the mouth of the tiger. And also, the tiger is not relenting. You know, the tiger is not sitting back and watching. Now, this announcement yesterday of them successfully launching a ballistic missile invasion, it's now going to aggravate the tiger again, and the tiger will come. Maybe next week we might hear another heavy bomb somewhere in Ukraine. So I don't know, whoever is behind the policy, whoever is also, whatever media team he has, propaganda team, they are not doing a good job at all. That's what I would say. Personally, I don't think the Ukrainian propaganda team are doing a good job. They shouldn't be talking. They shouldn't be exaggerating. They shouldn't be aggravating the opponents with their media arrangements. That's what I think. So do you have any final word on this, Raji?
No, I've said it before. When you have a comedian as your president, everything seems to be like a joke. This is a time when they should be thinking about, look, after the war, what will happen? We are going to have to reconstruct. Let us stop more further wastage of our resources.
Let us stop further wastage of our resources. Resources that will be used for other better things will be used for And yes, that's an aimless, a clueless way of governance.
The art of war teaches you that before you go to war, because you are going to deploy resources, man, human, and machinery, make sure that you have won the war before you start it. And when you have won the war before you start the war, the next step will be negotiation.
The next step will be negotiation.
Will be negotiation, because every war, all wars end up at a negotiation table. So why don't you bridge it and then go straight to the negotiation table instead of going to war and wasting resources?
Go straight to the negotiation table instead of going to war. Nice.
And wasting.
Peacemaker you are. The Bible says, blessed are the peacemakers. I think he says they shall be called the sons and daughters
The
of
children
God.
of God, yes.
Children of God. So that's
Yes.
what you are. United Nations is supposed to be a peacemaking organization. United
Yes.
Nations was formed to make peace, bring hostility and everything into one park and create peace. But Reggie, United Nations is not doing that job. United Nations has lost the power of making peace. Now they even side some aggressors. They side some weak countries to go harder on some aggressors, and they do things, and they've now lost their power. United Nations for me is a toothless bulldog now. But before we continue, let's bring in our beautiful diva, Bidi Nana. Bidi, how
Good
are you
morning.
this morning?
I'm fine.
Nice.
Good morning. Good morning, Saraji. Our viewers,
Good
thanks
morning,
for having
BD.
us again today. Good morning.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not as romantic as Sir George. So I'll just say good morning to you.
You better try and be, because I like them being romantic.
This one that you said even is more romantic. That you said this is more romantic. Thank you, Raji. BD, it's good to see you, because we need to talk on this next thing, and you help us with it. This morning, our president has departed, left Abuja for the official visit to China, and that visit, they say, will bring investors back to our country. We don't know how that is going to happen. Now, last time we said this anyway. We really went on this, but let's just put it on because he has just made the trip. This is when he has finally gone. When we make these trips, do we truly bring results to the citizens, to people, ordinary people? How does this trip affect the man selling bread, the woman selling puff puff, the newspaper seller, the coconut, the carpenter, and all that? What does this bring to their lives? And take note that he's going with a huge team of delegates. He's going with the new private jet, and maybe the other team will come with their own different private jets, and money will be spent. Gas, plain gasoline, plain gas will be used, and all that. And they come back, and for us, it's another day. So, gentlemen, let's talk about this, because this is the day he has finally gone. Raji, let me start with you.
Yes.
Go
We
ahead.
hardly ever get any feedback from all the junketing. The president has been out of the country more than 15 times since he came into government. What feedback have we gotten from all this junketing? Nothing. I hope. And why does he have to go to China for anything? Why don't we sit down and live within our means and use the resources that we have to make the best of our situation? What are you looking for in China?
What are we looking for in China? Well,
Yes.
but he's gone. BD,
Yes.
That's it. We thought when we all speak against it, everybody says, what are you going to do in China? What are you going? We thought the presidency might just consider and say, okay, let me sit back and let me step back from this whole plan, because of the
You
truth.
think you think they listen to you? You think they
Exactly,
listen to you?
exactly
They
I want to
listen,
say
but they
now.
don't follow. They don't act.
Yes. Okay. Now, okay. They hear you, but they don't hearken to you.
They don't hack in. Yes.
The word is that they hear us, but they don't listen to us. Because hearing is a different thing from listening. When you listen to someone, you take out something from that. But when you know that somebody is talking, but you don't even know what the person is saying. So I think that's what they do to us. They hear us, but they don't listen to us. Yes, he left Nigeria. He left Nigeria yesterday. That's the 29th of August to China, and he'll be doing a leftover at United Emirates. He'll be doing a stopover there before he will now finally get to China. And he said that he will be at Beijing to have a meeting to discuss about business and Africa. Now, my question is this: is he actually going as ECOWAS chairman, or is going as Nigerian president? Because he's actually going for two things. Do you understand? So, like you said, they don't listen. They don't listen to us, but they know we are making noise. It's a kind of cacophony. We are just they are talking. Let them talk. And you know one thing about this, our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he's a very funny human being. Is that thing he wants to do that he would do? I'm telling you, he already made up his mind before he set out to tell you people. Most times, in most cases, he has already done what he wants to do before even letting us know. So most times, our talk, our ideas, our suggestion, or our contribution don't really, truly matter. So I wish you all the best. Let him go in peace and come back in peace. We are waiting for him.
We are waiting for him. Let's see. Yes, the good of the country is our good too, and it's we all want good results, but sadly, nothing has gone well so far in most of what they do, their policies. Gentlemen, you two are very good at what the next topic. I want us to take our time to run through it. A study came out yesterday by an organization, and they said 55,000 Nigerians have been killed so far. 55,910 precisely, like their number says. And they said 21,000 also have been abducted in the last 4 years. This research and these statistics is coming from a team called Observatory Religious Freedom in Africa. And with that number they gave is really, really sad that human lives have gone when we're not in war, we're not in anything, any conflict, but people have died, people have been abducted. And I think there might also be some numbers they probably didn't take notes. These are the ones they heard. There are some families that probably didn't bring their own case to the light. Nobody knew what happened in their family, that somebody was kidnapped and killed and all that. But let's just take this number they gave as the overview number. Raji, 5,500,000 people killed so far in violence in Nigeria, escalating from the north of Nigeria, in Boko Haram attack, all of these sects, all these organizations. So let's talk about it. What's your take on this, Raji?
55,000 in 4 years means more than 13,000 a year, which is more than 5 people every day in a country that is not at war, in a country under a civilian government. It is so shameful for any government to even listen to this and not be serious about it, and to be junketing around the world. Before he came in, as a time Tinubu came in, there were more than 6 million people in IDP camps. These are the remnants of those who were killed. Those 6 million escaped being killed because they came from all those security impaired areas. So it is very saddening. And then up to now, we have more than 21,000 people abducted. 21,000.
Can you imagine?
And recently, the resident doctors went on strike because one of their members, a female doctor, had been abducted, and for the last 8 months had been in captivity, and that's why they are going on strike. 8 months in captivity, a woman. 8 months in captivity. God knows what has happened to her.
Oh,
God knows. Only God knows what might have happened to her. We are not talking about Leah Sharibu. And this is, and we all go about our life as if there's nothing wrong. All things is good. 55,000 people in 4 years. It is terrible. It is It is abominable. It is obnoxious. And the government is essentially not bothered. They're not bothered.
Thank you, Raji. Raji, it's I see you getting a little bit emotional there. It's understandable. Yes,
but every right-thinking human being should be emotional about this. We're talking about life. Let's bring in properties.
Yes, let's continue, but let Sir George from Toronto, Canada, be with us. Sir George, how come you're driving early morning? Where are you going to? What are you doing early morning when you should be sleeping?
Where is he coming from?
Where is he coming from?
Yeah, maybe from the side chick.
That is
Sir George is a pastor.
Okay. Or maybe
I had all night vigil.
Okay.
And Raji, here you are talking about something else. You understand? On international
that's who he is. He has a few of them. No,
but Sajari is just being sincere. No, Sajari is being sincere. That's an average African man for you. Raji is just being sincere.
Sir George is not in that group. Sir George, it's good to have you. You're being very, very studious, hardworking, coordinating things, family, church, and the news network. Thank you. So we're happy to have you. How are you?
I'm awesome.
Good. So George, we are talking something serious, and Raji got very emotional. BD said it's very human to be emotional about this. A group called ORFA came out with some statistics yesterday, some numbers, and they said 55,910 people have been killed in Nigeria. 21,000 have been abducted in 4 years, George. Now, George, we're not in a war. We're not in anything negative so far. We're even under a democratic regime, and people are dying as if we're in war. George, what is this?
It is so bad. Do you remember how all this started? It all started when Jonathan got in power, and they wanted to make Jonathan's administration ungovernable. And that is the reason why when I say something like, now you only waka come, many of us do understand what Patient Jonathan was actually talking about at that time. Because it was almost like a planned attack on the government by a group of people. And now, all of a sudden, that situation has come to the point where it is now attacking the people who created it. It become bigger than them. But you see, this is something when you talk about government and being serious about administration and governing. It's not about occupying a space. It's not about, saying, oh, well, it's my turn, Buhari's turn, Asuwaju's turn. What are you going to do when you get into that office? What is it that ought to be done to stop this particular insurgency? Because I can guarantee you that if they are serious, they will be able to stop this. But simply because the people that are doing this are part and parcel of the whole governing body in certain sections of our country, that's why it's continuing. It was all started, although that this was happening, but it started, the kidnapping, the killings, and all those type of things started to stop the Jonathan's administration from being efficient and effective. So here we are today. The situation is bigger than us. It's bigger than us that we want it because we want it to be. It's bigger than us because the people that are part and parcel of this whole situation that is killing our people, trying to displace certain group of people in order to bring people from Niger Republic, from Benin Republic that are Muslims to take over the central part of Nigeria. That is what you're seeing here today. So, it's very, despicable and deplorable. I don't know what to say about this. Is this bigger than Asiwaju? That's what I'm asking. Is this whole thing bigger than Asiwaju? We have a military in Nigeria, a military department in Nigeria. Every now and again, they will do a little bit of incursion over this situation? Is it bigger than them? Are you telling me that if Cameroon comes against Nigeria tomorrow and want to fight us, that we cannot defend ourselves? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you, George. Strong words, George. Femi Okay, it's good to see Femi Okay. Femi Okay is with us. Femi is presently in Nigeria, but he's here to tell us something good, development he's seeing. So maybe he'll also add to the topic on ground. Femi, you're welcome.
Lovely to be here.
Good. Femi, first of all, before we ask you the question, tell us, how was it getting to Nigeria? I saw an op-ed you wrote, an editorial piece, and you sound really positive. Tell us what it is. What's that?
Well, yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be back home in my mother's land and my fatherland, Nigeria. We hail thee. Yeah, my trip has been good. The airport has been good. I've been traveling around in Lagos, and I also took the train from Lagos to Ibadan. From Ibadan, I took the road through Erua and Igbora to Abeokuta, through that whole area. And yeah, I've been seeing a lot. And also went from Lagos to Abeokuta with the old road. So things are not as things are actually developing a lot. There's a lot of development on that axis. A lot of new companies. You see tremendous acceleration in business and enterprises that happen along that corridor. So when you read social media, all you read is negative scaremongering and doom merchants telling you that everything is disastrous in Nigeria. Actually, when we're on ground, I'm happy to say it's not as they say. So not to say that there's no bad things and people aren't suffering. A lot of people are saying that they would cope with the hardship of economic hardship if only basic infrastructure was in place. You know, I've been around. The roads in many places are just ridiculous and shameful. Lack of water, lack of social amenities. Those are the main issues. So if the road network was okay, if there was electricity everywhere, you know, then people wouldn't may be able to bear the suffering. And of course, if those at the top were showing that they're cutting their coat according to their size as well, then people might be able to accept these sufferings and the hardship that's happening right now. But in general, Nigeria is hopeful, is positive. And also I went to my farm. I have a farm in Ogun State, and I went there for the first time. And lo and behold, I have neighbors, and my neighbors were the Fulani herdsmen that we hear about that are supposedly killing all the farmers. Nothing can be further from the truth. I've seen so many farms, met so many farmers, and I ask every time I go to them, are the herders stopping you from farming? They're not telling me that at all. So, all this stuff we read on social media is one thing. When you get down to the, grassroots, and I was there, so I'm, not far from what's that place where we had the problems in Oyo State, near where Sunday Igbo comes from, Igbarakwa. It's not far from Igbora, and so it's not like I wasn't there. I was there.
So one instance is not a general case.
It's so amazing.
One instance. I've been going up and down.
Samak, I thought we were talking about the 55,000 people who have been killed.
I've been going around.
So let's get to that. Let's get to that subject, please.
Okay, Femi, we want you to tell us about. We want you to relate your stay in Nigeria with what we're saying. A statistics came out yesterday. An organization said 500,000 people have died so far.
55,000.
Yes, 910. Adoption 21,000. And so we just broke it down.
From what period to what period?
Yes, 4 years now. Since 2019, till now. And that number is scary. George has said it. Raji spoke. Raji even had some emotional undertone. it's sad that we're not in war and people are dying as if Nigeria is fighting with Ukraine, Russia. So how will you say of the security issues with your trip?
So look, criminality will always be there. In every country, there's criminality. If you start adding up the number of hundreds of thousands of people killed by gun crime in America, you'll understand that it's not exclusive to Nigeria. But at the end of the day, we're a developing country. Things are going to happen. Agitation everywhere, insurgency everywhere, all sorts of manner of criminality. You know, to be honest with you, I've seen police all over the place, but they can't be in every nook and cranny. You understand? When I was on my journey, at every point, we're meeting police checkpoints. I can't count the number that we've met. You understand? They're trying their best within difficult circumstances. But of course, lawlessness happens in the hinterland. Lawlessness happens in the cities. But by and large, as I said, I've not had these negative experiences, and I've been speaking to people on ground. You know, it is what it is. I can't account for why we as Nigerians like to kill ourselves, because technically it's Nigerians that are killing ourselves. With the war in Ukraine and Russia, they're completely different people killing themselves. You know, we are actually killing ourselves, and we're not in civil war. You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you, Femi. George, you were going to say something to respond to Femi.
What Femi is saying is that it's so amazing how Femi will come from London to Nigeria in a few days and then still have this partisan political positive twist, while the people that are living there are telling you otherwise, and everything else is we are blaming the social media, we are blaming everything else. The bottom line to it is that, you know, things are happening in our country and we don't like it. So we can, I know you're coming from a cup being half full or half empty, type of positive twist, which is good. Maybe that can, spread across the whole entire place. But the problem we are having today, I know that everybody will want to blame Asiwaju, government and all that kind of stuff, but it did not start with him. I know one of the things that I kept saying it, and I will continue to say it. He was set up. He was set up. The man was set up, and up until now, he's doing the best he can, but his best is not good enough. Simple, because there are some things that he could be doing up until now to show that he feels the pain of the people. To come and say, social media is saying people are hungry and people are not hungry. That is just an excuse. It doesn't matter, because people are hungry. And you've seen it on the streets, you've seen it all over Nigeria, you've seen it from the east to the west to the north to the south. So there is no excuses for that. We cannot blame Asiwaju completely for this. There was 8 years of APC under Buhari, so he was the chairman of the party too. So now, what we need to do is to get down, take the problem one by one and begin to solve it, especially this insurgency. They give the people the necessities of life. Right now, it's about food insecurity. What are we doing to solve that problem? Giving cups of rice to the 250 population or whoever the percentage that is hungry is not going to solve this problem. It is only bandaging the wound. We need permanent solution to our problem in Nigeria, and that's what we're asking. It's not about presidential jets are being seized by Chinese people, which is another subject we need to continue to deal with. And then all of a sudden, immediately that happened, you went to France to see if you can bring the presidential jets back. You didn't. Now you're going to China itself. Now these are resources of Nigeria that are supposed to be used for the welfare of the people, but you are using it to go and bring your presidential jet back. And then you attach all kinds of excuses, the reason why you're traveling. China, we don't need Chinese business. China is already in Nigeria. All we need to do is they're already dealing with us. Look at what happened in Ogun State, where Femi was talking about. Look at what is happening. So now, while we are going there to sign contracts with them, to do business with China, we better be thinking about what is happening to other countries like Bangladesh. China have taken over their infrastructures. Part of much of their revenues are going to pay China back.
Okay.
If we don't have any money to do these things, let's not get Chinese people involved. Let's get our own people involved. Let's train them so that they can be the ones that can be working locally, creating jobs in Nigeria, instead of going outside of the country to go and bring these people. They are dangerous. The next thing you're going to see, if you're not able to do anything with China or pay them back, they will bring their police force into Nigeria and begin to take care of us. So we need to be very careful. I don't think Asiwaji is going to China for business. He's going there to make sure that the jet that they seize is coming back. That's what I believe. But we're twisting it.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, George. I still want to add one sentence. Let us live within our means. Let us not get ourselves into the infrastructure trap that is being set all over Africa. Let us not get ourselves into a debt trap. Let's get ourselves out of the debt trap, and let us not get ourselves into that infrastructure trap.
Okay.
Let's live within our means.
Thank you, guys. Okay, let's go on a small break. Viewers, you're tuning into SSM Friday World Affairs. We'll be back. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa. Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.
Yes, you're welcome. Welcome back. Raji, I think network is taking off all the coordinators, but we are here.
I'm the last man standing.
Last man standing. And you stand till the end.
I'm formidable, yes.
Yes. Okay. We're going to talk about something I would have wanted George to be around. Okay, maybe we go on to something else while we wait for George. Prince Harry and the brother reportedly met yesterday. They said their uncle was the funeral of their uncle. This is good for the brothers, don't you think? What's the need? Two brothers fighting over, this sibling rivalry that leads to nowhere. So anyway, they met yesterday. The uncle passed away, so they were able to meet together and lay their uncle to rest. How do you see this?
But they are still bickering against each other. They are bickering. You see, ever since the other guy, the redhead, married married that Megan. In fact, there have been so much friction between the whole family and him, and he renounced his was it peerage or whatever, and he's essentially disowned as a member of the family. Yeah. So I don't know. As a matter of fact, you see, all these things don't bother me. I have more important things to worry about than bickering between children of Diana. Yes.
Okay. So it's good thing anyway. It's a good thing that they've come together.
And you think so?
Yes, yes. It matters because most times people look into all of this, and we know they've not been in that harmony since a long time now, except when their grandmom died, the queen, in 2022. They came together for its small time, and that was it. So, good one, Prince and William.
But
Settle all animosity.
just an aside. No, when you look at Harry with his red head, and look
Mhm,
at all other members of Charles' extended family, don't you
mhm.
see that there's a difference in him? And maybe he's not exactly uh, from that root.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
So no,
That,
I'm just looking at it.
no, it's
Otherwise, there won't be so much acrimony against him.
well,
Yes.
that one is what people were insinuating one time, but it's not true.
No, look at it now.
Your
When you
brother,
have a son, when
he's
you have a
only
son, the
down.
son will resemble you.
They all resemble. No, no. If you look well,
Exactly.
some people will look like mama, some people look like papa, some people look
Yes.
like yeah. So
Okay.
for that's it.
Eh,
Okay, let's
mm,
move on. What we
yes.
know is yesterday they were together, the funeral service of their uncle, Robert Fowles, and that made people say, well, this looks good. Since 2022 that they both were together. Oh, okay. So, Raji, let's move on to other things.
Mm,
There is also a story of the man, Pivel Dovi. Pivel Dovi is the owner of Telegram.
mm,
Telegram owner Pavel Dovry has been
mm,
charged over the use of his apps by criminals. They say many criminals use it to do their thing, and now he's being held in France. But he's not really under detention. He's only under a house arrest. And take note also, since he's a French citizen, he's partly French and partly Russia. So the French government will have a right to check his excesses. You know, yes, somebody's coming the right time for this. Godwin eBay, you are welcome. Dr. Godwin, can you hear me? Dr. Godwin, we can't hear you. Turn your mic
Thank you
and
so much for having me. I hope
turn
I'm
yourself
audible.
also. Stay a little close in the middle. Aha,
I'm
better.
not audible.
Yeah, now you're
yes, you are.
audible.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you so much.
good.
Thank you for
Yes,
touching.
and you just came right on time, right on time. We're talking about the Telegram founder and the investigation and everything surrounding it. And I was giving some stories of what we know so far. Russia is also coming in now to say that they should. Russia is adding its voice to that allegations on the man. But France is holding him because he's also partly a French citizen. He's partly French and he's partly Russian. So France has a right to check excesses of its citizens, and that's what they are doing. Telegram has become a strong criminal app. A lot of criminal acts are being passed through there. And what we know also is that he's not really in detention, he's only in a house arrest. And he's been ordered to pay about 4.2 million dollars so he can be freed. So some of these things are coming while we're still following the story. There's a very big allegation of complicity in organized crime used for Telegram. So Godwin, let me start with you. What's your view? What's the new one on Dovey, founder of Telegram?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to speak. First of all, I would like to correct some, let me not say misconception, but exaggeration of reality.
Okay.
It's true that Telegram is quite popular. The founder, Pavel Durov, is a citizen or was a citizen of the Russian Federation. He doesn't really, when he left Russia, he doesn't really identify as a Russian citizen. Well, Russia, because he's born in Russia and well seen as Russian, he is still defended by Russia and you know, seen as a Russian. Let me put it that way. So Russia is actually going out of its way to defend somebody who was born on its soil, even though the person may not be holding a Russian passport. Compare that to people like Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, who still hold their country's passport, but their diplomatic missions are scared or are not very forthcoming with consular assistance. It's a you know, as deep as different as the mountain and the deep blue sea. Also, it's quite hypocritical because you know, his arrest in the sense that Pavel Durov is the owner of a platform. He gives a lot of people voices. He cannot be held criminally responsible for what people do on the platform, apart from the usual management, top management, and censorship of criminal activities that are brought to their attention. Remember, Pavel Durov, in his interview with Tucker Carlson, said he has a staff of just 30 people. He has sees no reason for overhead. A staff of just 30 people controlling 2 billion or more than 2 billion people in the world. I think it's for something that is freemium, which you can of course pay for premium packages and other things, but it's basically run free. And obviously, in such kind of deals, the user data is the real commodity. But he's able to provide that for free for 2 billion people with a staff of just 30 people. Of course, he cannot be held. His staff cannot be held responsible for what 2 billion people do on the platform. It's hypocritical. And even if we go by that standard, why is Mark Zuckerberg free? Why is Elon Musk free? Why was Jack Dorsey, who was operating Twitter for a while, why was he never arrested? So this just goes to show how people weaponize this control of, or weaponize so-called allegations of criminal activity to censor and police free speech. And when they believe they do not have enough control over a platform, they would look for all sort of fictitious political claims. Recall that he has been asked publicly by some officials to provide backdoors into Telegram platform, which he vehemently refused. So we can see the political incentive for these actions.
Thank you very much. So Raji and George has come back again. George, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Good.
Welcome, Sir George.
Yes.
Good
we are deliberating on the Telegram founder and the allegations on him and everything. But before Raji comes in, let me say this. Godwin, he's a French citizen. Listen to this. French citizen.
And Dubai. And Dubai, not Russia.
He's partly Dubai, yes, partly, but more French. He has a French passport. And
he has a Dubai passport as well.
It is on that base that the French people are holding on to him. But take note, like I said, it's not an arrest. It's a house. He's presently in a house he chose to stay, and they have guards around him.
But it was degraded. Sorry. Let's just follow the timeline. He was arrested, not house arrest. And then finally he was degraded to house. Yes.
He was arrested at the airport and brought to a house arrest. This is what I have.
He's still under arrest. As long as he's not able to move freely, he's under arrest.
Okay. Of a truth.
So we shouldn't share meat with our teeth. Let's say it straight as it is.
Okay. Of a truth, he is his platform, Telegram. We see the picture there. We all know Telegram has faltered. It is not a small case against him. The FBI have case on him, and now you call all these other names. Listen to this. There is what you call automated devices that can make an owner of an app know who is using it for notorious activities. Facebook has never had notorious activities on it. No.
It has.
Facebook,
it has.
No. Facebook would have listened. It is one thing to have people doing. It's one thing to use.
Mark Zuckerberg was accused by the House of Representatives. He was accused. Yes.
Sorry. Let me say this to you, gentlemen, and to our viewers. I'm a programmer. I write source code. So when we talk, we don't just talk because we're talking. I also am in the field. Now, Facebook has not had the level. You see, the Telegram is used for high advanced crime. One,
Like
high fraud. Two,
like
pedophile and child abuse content.
So on Facebook.
Yeah.
So on Twitter.
No.
Twitter won't allow porn.
Let's come to George. Let's come to Raji and George. Raji,
I have it here. I have articles here actually. Let hear from Raji. Yeah.
Raji, go ahead.
He was accused of criminal case, Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah.
Raji, go ahead.
So is it just is it last week or week before? Mark Zuckerberg was complaining that he regrets working with the CIA and FBI in restricting free speech.
Mm-hmm.
You see, whenever the world forces are unable to control you, they will bring something against you that will want to restrict you one way or the other, and they can make all manner of accusations. And when you are under arrest, you are under arrest. They can make all manner of Telegram. Go ahead, George.
You know, what's so laughable here is the type of, attitude that we have when a group of people, are trying to do something to control certain things that are going out of hand. We come out, we jump up, and then we say, oh, America is this, America is that. The bottom line to it, if you're on the social media and are using it, you will know that there are so many control system that they have in there, that if you mess up or violate it, like Facebook is very active. One single one, two, they will shut you down. And I know a lot of people, a lot of friends that have actually made some comments and they shut them down permanently because they're monitoring it. They're very active on it. Instagram, the same thing. So let me tell you something. Sometimes, we are the ones shooting ourselves on the foot. Now, freedom of speech does not mean freedom of abuse. There is a case that is in Canada right now that we are dealing with. Somebody who came out and was threatening a group of people. And that woman is suffering today because of the alleged utterances that was made, against a group of people. And so what we are saying is, it is good to have freedom of speech, freedom of expression, but let your freedom not become somebody else's bondage. Let your freedom not abuse somebody else. We need to be very, very careful when we are fighting against some people, when we don't know really the reason, the people that are in the water investigating and finding out some of the things that are happening that are fighting against them. Let us not do that, because you are not there. All you do is you read, you come and you pontificate. So when you begin to fight against all those type of things, you are really shooting yourself on the foot, because these people are controlling things. They have their algorithms. They know what to do and how to control things. So now if you are laxed in doing it, like for instance, we see the X right now. We see what is happening. If now he allows certain things to go a little further and violates other people's, fundamental human rights, they will shut him down or they will caution him. And then we're going to say, oh, America is doing this, America is doing that. No, there got to be some sense of control that is really going on out there. You can't just have it.
Who controls what? Who controls what?
Let me just finish. Let me finish. Number one is, you live in Nigeria. Yes. You know what is happening right now as we speak to, a lot of people that have been arrested, press people. Or when you say certain things, some people are on the run today because they are attacking or speaking some things against the government. You are there. Yes. You are in Russia. You can't even speak what you want to speak. Yes. You can't. No, you cannot. You dare not.
And I'm doing
I agree with you.
You dare.
Let me tell you something.
Let me finish. Let me land.
No, you are talking too much, George.
I'm talking about, when we are talking about this, let's be careful. how we are bringing out this situation, because you don't know the inside scoop. You don't know what they have discovered against this man. Let's not do that, please.
Let me say comment on all of these. First of all, these are accusations. I'm speaking what I want to. I'm speaking my mind, and I am free to speak as much as I want, as long as it's within the law. There's law in every country, and obviously, when you violate the law, there are agencies that will come after it. That's fine. What we are speaking about, no one is saying that criminal activity should be allowed or checkmated, or people should go and infringe on the right. No one is saying that. But what we're saying is that somebody who owns a platform has very minimal responsibility in terms of being responsible for what users of the platform do. And even on that, if you decide to create a rule that the head of the platform is responsible for what every single individual does, then you will apply the same standard to everybody, because obviously the same standard is not applied to Mark Zuckerberg, who has complained, who was brought to the house to testify for allowing illegal content on his platform, who has confessed openly that he was pressurized, especially during the COVID era. So the same law is not applied to everybody, even if we agree that that is the way to go. It is not applied to them, but it is still wrong, because this is a platform. It's you also that are saying that you don't have enough information. How do you know that maybe he's doing enough and he's accused of something political? You also do not know this, but you have also taken a side that and assume that the government is right, or the people who are holding him are right. How did you reach that conclusion with little information as well?
Let me help you.
Information is little on both sides. Why have you chosen one side to have more
let
information?
me help you.
Your trust.
Listen to this. George, listen.
But it's not a neutral position.
It's one thing to accuse a site owner, an app owner, of people putting fake content. It's another thing to have an app owner use their app for high-scale financial
illegal.
For
yes,
pedophile crime. They are using Telegram to show little kids being raped, animals being raped. You can't do that on Facebook. You can only come and put
Pavel didn't do that. Pavel didn't
Let me help you.
And he's not even accused of doing that.
The content
he's accused of allowing, not policing. He's not accused of doing that. It's a different thing.
People, the man Pivo Druvo should know that if he's articulate enough as a programmer, there are automated machines that can make you know what is going in your blog.
But I know so many people who are blocked on Telegram. I know so many people who are blocked from Telegram for insults, for spam. I know some of them.
How do you ship money across continents with this app, and this man doesn't know about it? So that's why they think he's part of
it. He will not know.
Cryptocurrency. What is the problem? Cryptocurrency. How is Russia conducting all around the world? No. The financial system does not allow it.
I'll bring you.
Swift doesn't allow that.
I'll bring you the files. You've not seen the allegation file.
See, the point is, my Godwin. You see what you're seeing here. When you are on the left, nothing on the right is ever right. When you're on the right, nothing on the left is ever right. And that is what we are. But when you are in the middle, you can be able to, lean to the right and lean to the left. The point is this.
Right. It's wrong.
So which side are you in? Are you in the middle? Because you are not in the middle.
You are left. You are far left.
Zuckerberg has been called many times, and openly. It's not secretly, openly interrogated, not by the government, but by both houses, over situations and allegations. So don't tell me that the government, where this one has gone too far. Maybe he's gone too far. It's an allegation.
Yeah, maybe, yes. He was not held under house arrest. He was not arrested.
Because it's an allegation. It's an alleged crime.
George, they are different things. Different standard, different things. He was not arrested. Criminal cases were not brought against him. He was not placed under house arrest or any form of arrest or detention. These are different levels of accusation or what do I call it, prosecution, let me put it this way.
Okay,
And then
okay,
the standard is not applied.
okay. Let's do a little.
I'm neutral as well. I'm just as neutral.
Let's do a little.
I'm not right. I'm not left.
Let's do a little of our Nigerian news. We can't be saying too much of this if our own house is also still burning. Nigerian agency called NITCOM reveals the identity of a Canadian-based woman, George. This woman actually came out and made a threat. She said she's going to kill Southwesterners and the people of Edo State in Nigeria because they are against her own people from the Southeast. Now, it's getting out of control, but we know it's still social media jive, social media for anxiety. But there should be control. George, you're in Canada. Tell us, what's this news about the woman was seeing her face on the screen?
The news came out a few days ago, where the woman was, I think it was on Instagram, having a conversation with a bunch of people. So there was a part of it that came out where she was threatening and saying that she would kill. It's alleged that she said so. The allegation is that it is her voice, that she's the one that is threatening Edo and Yoruba people, that she will poison them and all that kind of stuff. So the police is handling that situation right now. But the fact was that once that thing came out, they were able now to write to Abike Dabari, who, without any investigation of any kind, came out and condemned it. And it is condemnable if she did so. It is a condemnable thing. You are not supposed to. And this is another thing that we need to really talk about. When you are in a country, you cannot just take laws into your own hands. And I'm saying this generally. To threaten anybody or to push somebody or put your hands on anybody, especially in Canada, is against the law. You cannot do that. So now the question is whether it's an allegation because they have a video of her saying these things. Whether it's her or not, we don't know, because it's already gone to that place where the police is handling and doing the investigation right now. And then the Nigerian government is pressuring Canada to do some things, but it doesn't work that way, because there has to be investigation. They have to go through it and make sure that the law takes its course until she is found guilty and then maybe punishable under the law. So that's what is happening right here. But this is a special warning to everybody. When you are in a country, it doesn't matter. Emotional outburst does not matter. That I get upset and push you can land me in jail. There are laws and we must obey the laws. And this accusation against this woman, if it is true, is condemnable. It should be, there is no tolerance for such nonsense to be threatening anybody. It is against the law, if it is true.
Thank you, George. Godwin, I know you had the news too. Abike Dabiri, the chairperson of NITCOM, came out and said they've identified the woman. How do you see this from your end as a man that leads Nigerians in Russia as a whole and not a section of Nigeria? How do you see this news?
Well, I'm not sure how exactly it concerns NITCOM directly. Well, obviously, it's interested in the welfare of Nigerians, but it's not it hasn't got to the scale of involving NITCOM, in my opinion. But it's good to see her involvement. I obviously think it's condemnable, and if it's true, and she's bound by local laws, as Sir George has rightly said. But it's what I expected NITCOM to chair Honorable Abike Dabiri to lay back a bit until we get to the root of the matter, because currently it's an allegation. Allegations can be thrown left, right, center at any point in time, especially for political reasons, as you see in a very politically divided world and maybe even tribal connotations. So I would say we can condemn the principle of of hate speech here as a principle, but I think condemning her is still early. Let it be proven beyond doubt before we.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Besides, let me give you what is going on right now, because the conversation was lengthy, but only that portion was. She's alleging, it's being alleged that she was pushed into this because of the comments that were being made. There are videos also that came out where Edo people were saying, kill Nigeria, Igbo children, wherever they are, whether in Nigeria or abroad, kill them. There are videos also that are, some Yoruba people were also threatening the life of Igbos that are out there also. So, what the allegation is that she was actually pushed to start making such comment, which is wrong. Two wrongs don't make right. That's one thing that we have to understand. But the point is, when MC Oluoma did what he did, nobody came up and said anything about this. MC Oluoma came into this country. I know where he was. I did not go there to try protesting or do anything against him, what he was saying about Igbos. I was in Nigeria when what do you call it again? The leader of Yoruba in Lagos, was saying that if Igbos do not vote, that he would throw them into lagoon. I was with him the night before this happened. It was on a Sunday that he made that comment. Saturday night, I was in his palace when he did that. Akiolu, Oba Akiolu. But nobody rose up and said anything.
No comment. No comment then. No comment. Then it's not the comment. So let us.
It's not correct, but what I'm saying is, no, listen to this though. When the law, justice for one is justice for all. I condemn completely what this woman, if she did it. Okay, I condemn it. It is unacceptable, intolerable. It shouldn't be done. But let's have a playing field for everybody. Houses are being destroyed in Lagos. Igbo houses. They are still being threatened that they need to leave their land and all those things. I don't see anybody rising up. I don't see anybody saying anything from that aspect of it. So let us have a fair ground and equal playing field to operate, because we are all Nigerians. Whether we are in Russia, in England, in anywhere we are all the same people. So we should have the same law that applies to everybody. When some people would do certain things, houses were being destroyed in Lagos. A man came up and said, if we don't have any protection, the government is not offering us any protection against our businesses being burnt down, maybe we can call IPOB to come and help us. The following day, he was arrested. Up until today, we don't know what happened to him. So what I'm saying, unfairness in Nigeria should not be, not because Asiwaju is the government, the president. Therefore, anything that concerns Yoruba people, they rise up and do some things. When Igbos are being maligned and destroyed, nobody says anything. Let's have a fair ground to operate in that country if we are going to go forward. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, and I wouldn't go further to add that I take issue with the statement "justice for one is justice for all." It's not. I don't believe in that. Justice for one cannot be justice for all if it's applied to only one person and the other people are left to be unjust. Justice for every can only be the thing that can be justice for all. Until that justice is felt by everybody, there cannot be peace, there cannot be progress. So let us share that justice around. Not only when it comes, we are motivated to speak out when it's one, but in the others, we are all silent as lambs. So let us we condemn the principle, don't personalize it, but if you must personalize it, then let the personalization go around to everyone who is involved.
Good one. Thank you, gentlemen. Gentlemen, we need to pull the plug, but let's give this interesting news. Far away in Norway. Norway has a princess that is marrying a black dude, and somehow he's Voodoo man. He's a chief priest. You know what you would call chief priest in Africa. And but the wedding, it took some time for the people of Norway, the Norwegians, to accept, but they just have to. So the wedding starts today and will last till Sunday. There will be hundreds of guests arriving at the town of Arsand in Western Norway. They will meet and greet with the king, the prince to be. Tomorrow they will also go around some launch boat ride witness some beautiful mountains and waterfalls. Then on Saturday, tomorrow, they'll tie the knots. The couple. So that's the couple there, Norway princess and her black husband to be. This is the first time they're having this I think, in the whole of Europe. Godwin, what do you know about Europe and black monarchy? Is there
black monarchy?
Mm-hmm. Godwin, do you know?
Must monarchy have colors?
I mean, coming in. This is a black man.
Must monarchy have colors?
What do you know?
Okay,
it's good
it's a herbal healer. He's not a voodoo priest. He's a herbal healer. That's what they call it.
We call them chief priests or whatever.
Let me complete.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's commendable,
Mm-hmm.
Norway. And I'm saying this despite the fact that Norway has not the best of relationship right now with Russia, but all the same, it's commendable, very commendable, because it shows that the level of integration. Sorry, I'll come back.
Okay, George, go ahead before he comes back. George, let's hear you.
Yeah. So what I was saying was that I mean, I really like that because being that we are of this race also, and I think is love does not have boundaries. It doesn't matter whether your profession, whether you are a healer. Dr. Godwin is a medical doctor, and this man is a herbal doctor. So he heals people with not pharmaceutical things. He puts leaves and things together to heal people. So we call him a chief priest. So maybe maybe he used the herbal concoction to buy the love of this princess. So we don't know.
Okay, sorry, as I was saying before. Yeah, it's a very good point Sir George is saying. I'm saying this even despite the fact that at this point Norway does not have the best relationship with Russia, and I would like to see that relationship improve. But at the same time, it's commendable, showing the ability of for optics. The optics speak well of integration, and those kind of optics give a lot of encouragement, motivation, morale to a lot of people who are trying to integrate into the economy, or who believe that someday their efforts or work in a particular country will be rewarded with promotion and elevation to the highest of levels without racism, tribalism, or discrimination. And so, while I may not be able to speak to the exact detail of what each and every citizen in that country is passing through, but I can say the optics of this happening speaks well of integration. And for that reason, I commend them, irrespective of their current relationship with Russia, and I hope that in the future it improves.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Beautiful. So, Norwegians, please accept Mr. Verity. Don't look at him as a strange man. We're one people, black, white, whatever color we are. George,
all red blood flowing through our veins.
Red blood is flowing from each one of us. Thank you guys for coming. We've just used extra 15 minutes. The network allowed this. We'll be back on Friday, but during the weekend,
on Monday.
We're on Friday already.
Friday for this same world affairs, general world affairs.
Ogogo no be vodka. Today is Friday. It's Friday.
It's Friday. Yes. See you all. Thank you all for coming. Have a beautiful weekend. God bless you. Bye-bye. Thank you, George. Thank you.
Welcome.
Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve.